heroes could, of course, do nothing. They sat in shock and suppressed despair at the loss of their bold protector, only knowing what their duty called for next. They informed Shefkim of Jafaki's death and returned to Otari. And despite being welcomed as heroes, the praise and thanks of the townspeople felt dull and distant in the wake of such tremendous loss. Kruka received new armor made from the pelts of winter wolves, and Kilino Lathanar, in his way, gave thanks to Tulak. They visited Rin to bring her the sorrowful news and seek guidance from her and the stars, before a courier informed them their delivery at Galentine's had arrived. It's there that Tulak received a return letter from his father, bare of any useful information. And there they also met a new and unexpected ally, Izori of the Pashman Lancier, and Samal's lover, seeking vengeance for his death.
Y'all ever perform any witchcraft?
I feel like you've asked that before.
You ever get yourself in a circle on the living room floor with all your friends?
Yeah.
Lay down some candles, try an incantation or two.
You know,
What do you think witchcraft is?
Well, for one, I don't think it really exists, so I'm not quite sure, actually.
shout out to all the Wiccans in the audience. Put some hexes on for me.
That was my next question. Does anyone ever feel like they've been hexed or possibly cursed, and genuinely believe it?
Just cursed with stunning good looks and this rapier sharp wit.
Ayo.
Nailed it.
Is that a +1?
Yeah. Could be if you play your cards right.
So dumb.
That's what she said.
I have never really gotten down and done any dirty little witchcraft, though I love horror movies and I'm super interested in the topic and enjoy watching other people do witchcraft in movies and then usually die after. It's pretty fun.
Love that dynamic too. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the movie The Witch, which I
Hell yeah.
have seen a couple times. The first time, though, I kind of may have ruined it for myself and for others in the theater because I ingested some legal Canadian edibles, and because they have the traditional like way of speaking, and like "come hither" and all that type of thing. I went from like being horrified 1 second to laughing my ass off the next second when they're talking,
Nice.
and then just being horrified.
Like it's terrifying,
again.
but
It was
when
a
they
roller coaster
speak,
of emotions.
It's too much to handle.
Yeah, it was crazy, and I don't think the people around us in the theater were very happy that we were on such a journey.
That's really funny. I can't say I know anything about this film that you've mentioned.
That's Robert Eggers. Fantastic.
Personally, not a fan of horror movies, so
Yeah, I had a brief period where 13 Ghosts was my favorite movie, and that really got the ball rolling on realizing how bad 13 Ghosts was as a movie for one. And just kind of how full of shit those holes, like you start digging down those holes that kind of like led, like the Blair Witch marketing, and 13 Ghosts had the same kind of attempted viral marketing of like, oh, this stuff's all really true. And like, even as wanting to believe it teenagers scratching that surface was like, this is all bullshit. And I don't know how much I can suspend my disbelief.
Yeah, there's a limit. Yeah. It was like, I didn't Paranormal Activity. I do that too as well. Just like, try to
no, that one's all true.
Oh, well, in that case, that's me shut down, I guess.
Bet you believe now, don't you?
I personally was a big fan of The Craft with Fairuza Balk.
Yeah, shout out. Good film.
Actually, that was a pretty classic one at the time. That was a pretty intense film.
What's your thoughts on Sabrina?
I started watching that newer one that I'm however many years it came out now, but with what's her name, Kiernan Kipka, something like that. Kiernan Shipka, I think is what it is actually. And I thought it was pretty neat as I was watching it. I don't think I quite finished it, but I remember my sisters watching the Melissa Joan Hart show a lot when we were younger, and what was the other one? Charmed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was a big Salem guy, the cat from Sabrina.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That puppetry does not hold up well.
I have not seen it, but I'd love to see like, what do you call it when they mash it up on YouTube and there's just like a power edit or whatever?
A power edit?
Of like just good, something.
Scott really showing his age on this one.
Is that what happens? When James and Duncan do edits, but like hot soup, like too much caffeine, just power editing?
Yeah. Well, yeah. A little peek behind the curtains. Power edits are when I do hippie speedballs, which is just a bunch of coffee and bong rips and edit all day.
Amazing.
Anyways,
I want to see a Salem mashup, is what I'm saying.
A Salem and Thackeray Binks mashup. How about that?
You just made that name up, didn't you?
No, that's from Hocus Pocus. Remember Hocus Pocus?
Oh yeah, okay. I know. I remember it. I remember watching it a lot as a kid, and I cannot remember a single scene or line from that movie.
Oh man, I absolutely love that movie. I did rewatch it this last Halloween, and it holds up in a really weird way. It's just a cult classic. It's so dumb. It's so funny. It's just at its heart, it's a physical comedy. That's all it is. And Sarah Jessica Parker is actually really funny in it.
Shout out Jessica Parker.
Shout
You're
out.
great in Ed Wood.
But yeah, speaking of things that are witchy, I don't know. You've got a new character.
Yikes.
Best segue ever. Yeah. I'll be honest. Did a lot of forward-thinking prep this last little while. I kind of forget where we left off, but I'm pretty sure it was just straight up with, you meeting James' new character in the barracks. In the barracks? No, in Galentine Deliveries.
Outside of Galentine's.
And I don't really remember what has been laid down at said character's feet as far as information goes. But yeah, we're basically, I think the itinerary here we're starting back in here with is probably getting said character up to speed and taking some much needed what's the word I'm looking for, removing some much needed weight from the inventory, I guess is the phrase I'm looking for, and it's certainly the retrieval of Lady Gilda from her very brutal and sad demise that I'm sure as this gets out, I'm getting a lot of flack for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Some jerk, not to name any names,
Volok
came along and killed Lady Gilda. And it was not at all the fault of a different player character who may or may not have set off that combat early before any of us could heal. Could not be that person's fault. Don't know who that person is, but it's not their fault.
Which is what Scott has been telling himself for weeks now. Just so he can sleep at night.
It sounds especially good in the shower amongst the tears.
I mean, I don't really care because I get out of this one scot-free. So you're both guilty.
Brutal. Well, I guess to a degree, the floor is yours, and how you want to start this episode on some. I guess we're doing some housekeeping here in a way. What do you fellas thinking?
Well, Krucka does not need 3 sets of leather armor, one of them being Wolfjaw. So,
oh yeah, your new Wolfjaw
shedding
armor.
some layers.
So ridiculous. I love it.
Yeah. Oh man, he's cutting a figure. That's for sure. And he's going to cut down his arsenal, I think, by quite a bit, because he does not use much. Hold on to the silver hatchet, because who knows what undead and silver-affected things are down there.
Yep.
Hold on to his butchering axe. Get rid of the loot. Or
what? Why? That's sweet +1 battle loot.
He's all thumbs, that guy. Yeah. I normally play in drop D.
Some poor minstrel gave up their musical career for you to have that loot. You're just gonna toss it away.
Yeah, well, music is a dying art. Get rid of the striking gaff as well, because there's no vaudeville show going on anytime soon. I think he's good to go.
Okay, all right. Okay, that's good. That for the record, listeners, Krucka was very much encumbered with his new armor and inventory, so that's going to help that a lot. No more reduction to AC for you.
He's gonna need it.
2-lock?
Yeah, I mean, behind the scenes here, listeners, I have slid everything from my bag of holding and inventory into what we call the Party Loot 2.0. Where, since I don't think we need any money right now, it can sit. And you know what? That might just exist in 2-Lock's caravan, and it's chilling, hoping that no one breaks in.
It's now probably especially protected by the vendors and proprietor of the Otari market, given your heroics in saving the town at least a couple times now.
And if we do want to sell maybe the treasure very quickly, just to spice it up a little bit, treasure sells for 100% of its worth, right? Yeah. And each one of these rare silver pieces, I believe, are they 4 gold a piece or 4 gold total?
I believe they're 4 gold a piece.
Perfect. Math. 247. There we go. Hey yo. So we have
that could be the wrong answer. You had nobody knows what you just added together.
Yeah, 4 times whatever Scott wants.
Damn, I should have added some.
247. Nailed it.
Because I'm not really sure what you did there.
247
but
gold coins for all
all the rare pieces. Oh, for all the treasure. Okay. I was going to say, because just for the pieces, it's only 52, but okay.
Well, I was trying to add the 52
gotcha.
to the rest of it. That's where, hey, if you can get 195 plus 52
147
in under 10 seconds, you're smarter than me.
I cannot. So there's that.
Shout out me. Okay.
So 247, you said?
Yeah.
Perfect.
And then we just have some various like weapons and armor and like healer's tools, climbing bolts, which I think we don't need the money right now anyways. We can just hold on to that because with this party makeup, one of us might die immediately and want some of that.
It's almost guaranteed. Is there like some kind of investment portfolio we can open?
I'm sorry, I was double checking that math. Can you ask that question again?
Yeah, I saw you looking at your phone over there.
What, you didn't believe me?
No, actually, if anything, I was double checking that Foundry calculated it right because we had a bit of an issue off mic about some of the calculations, so I just wanted to make sure. Because I just did an automated button. We're not going to bother selling any of the equipment for now, is what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah, fuck it.
So you get about 328 gold in the old party loot there, which, I mean, its value is significantly increased since you're not sharing that with a recently deceased member. perhaps, this new member will earn their keep and get a portion and share of that.
Wow, that just seemed like the most prickish way you could have said all that.
Well, I'm not here to play nice all the time. That out of the way, what do you do? What do you feel? You've done the rounds a bit here in town, in getting some of the stress and issue of what's going on off your backs. You had a chat with Rain at the very least, and had some time to yourselves. You've met this new character who has introduced themselves. I don't even know if we had the conversation of whether or not they're joining you. I honestly don't remember. So let's say that you're selling these goods off to some degree. Perhaps you are paying Aloria Galantine to expedite this for you in a way. Look, we have shit to do. Can you just run these around town? Do us a favor. And Aloria is super down to do that because you're the goddamn heroes of Otari. Like, hell yeah, don't sweat it. I'll waive the courier fees. I got you. I couldn't imagine being in your shoes kind of shit. And that leaves you with your new companion, I suppose, and heading back towards the Gauntlet, perhaps.
Well, it's time now to return. Zori, I can't imagine why you're here. Or maybe I can. Have you come to see where Samal lived? Maybe engage in some part of his life? Or have you interest in following us into the depths where he fell?
How well did you know my Samal?
I can't say I knew him long, though we both had stalls in the same marketplace. We spoke occasionally.
He was a quiet man, a strong man. But he had these bouts of vengeance within him that were just something beautiful to behold.
Is that why you're here?
I am not here to mourn him. I am here to destroy what destroyed him. This is purely, simply, and beautifully an act of vengeance, Mr. Sage Tulok. I am here with a single purpose, and that is to put everything down that even kind of stood in his way. He deserves at least that much from me.
He does. And looking at you, I feel like you can give him that. We didn't know him long, but we knew him in the way that you only know someone once you've gone to battle, once you've seen things that change you forever. We experienced those things together, albeit short.
And my Samal was a warrior.
He was.
I am glad that you got to see that of him. And Raphael spoke very highly of your abilities and the past physic.
Yes.
And your new traveling companion, Kraka here, looks like he would be very dangerous as well.
Dangerous and smart.
He is very multi-talented.
Well, I look forward to see that if you would, of course, take me along with you.
Please, of course we will. We need all the help we can get. With Lady Gilda falling, we are desperately outnumbered. I mean, 2 or 3 against however many we have, we're always outnumbered, but every single person we bring down is a help.
Did you hear that, my love? We are outnumbered. Our backs are against the walls.
Yes, I know.
Just like Nex, just like Cheliax, just like all the old times.
Oh, never mind.
Perhaps if I was here, well, you'd still be among us in a more permanent fashion. She like speaks kind of chin up to this guy, eyes closed. Like she's very clearly talking to this guy and Samal at the same time.
I have a quick question. Has Izori been to Otari, or have they always met in Absalom?
They've always met in Absalom.
First time here.
So, and honestly, she has no interest in Otari. Like it's kind of a port city, but she is here for one sole purpose, and that is vengeance. And she is excited about it.
Yeah. I got that vibe. I love it.
Quick question. Did Samal ever make it down a level, or did he die before we
Corpse
even
lights, baby.
Yeah, in the chapel, but we never went down.
In episode 6, I'm pretty sure it was.
Jesus Christ.
Real
Yeah.
early.
I'm actually working on a database of all of our episodes and like the titles, episode descriptions,
sweet.
and what like key factors.
Yep.
So yeah, it was very early on. I think it may have been like our second encounter inside of the keep. Like we spent the first, I think it was episode 4 where we finally went into Gauntlet.
I think it was possibly the 3rd or 4th, I would say, because the very first room you went into, you had an encounter, and then you went into you got across the bridge. You went into, or no, you leapt across the river. You went around instead, and then I think you fought some Mitflits in there as well. So that would have been number 2. But then
that's where Samal threw.
Yeah,
up
but
for a
then
long
from
time.
there, I think it quickly went into you found a secret door and yada yada yada. There might have been one in between, but
Well, there was the boss Strong. Like he ruthlessly murdered.
oh,
Boss
in that
Strong.
case, yeah, so there would have been
true
several fights, I think, before. Yeah, now that I think about it.
That was a great kill. I that made me so excited for Samal.
Yeah. He had such a bright future ahead of him.
Izori is just as ready. Izori's the first character I've ever played who like truly hates. Like I'm gonna be leaning into the emotion hate. Like with Gilda, it was hope.
Right.
With Samal, it was like stoicism and knowledge is power. Like that was his whole build. With Prowl, it was quiet confidence, and with Izori, it's just gonna be this unhinged rage. This unhinged vengeance.
Prowl being a Starfinder character, listeners.
Can we have a potential peek behind the curtains? Not that alignment exists in Pathfinder anymore, I'm pretty sure, but what her alignment is?
She's true neutral. She's a patron of Abadar, being a merchant who owns her own boat. It's easiest not to ask a lot of questions when presented with dubious scenarios if you want to get a paycheck on the inner city.
Yeah. Andrew understands the balance of commerce, if nothing else. That's probably a true balance.
Correct.
Which fits nicely with a true neutral.
Loves to laugh.
All right. Well, so Tulok gives Izore a look and says, well, if it's vengeance you're here for, you'll find plenty of it in the Abomination Vaults. And then up comes the title.
Stemming the tide. Izori's blood tide.
They drew first blood.
Crimson waves.
Stemming the tide. : this time it's personal.
I love it.
Okay, let's fucking go.
So you head to L'Abomination Vaults. That's French, listeners.
No.
I'm pretty sure none of those words are
I
French.
said L'Abomination. Come on now.
L'abomination.
Right, but
L'Abomination.
L'abomination is L apostrophe, making it one word.
You
The
shut your
la
mouth.
not
You shut your mouth if
counting
you're talking to me.
Okay. We shall
That's
be
better.
quiet. Please don't kill my newest character.
We speak French in my kitchen. No matter how broken. All right, so you're heading back to the Abomination Vaults. You go in the usual front ways, with the probably the very scary prospect of showing Izori where Samal fell.
I'm probably not going to point it out or anything.
Well, that's exactly what we do.
Yeah, she absolutely wants to see that.
Yeah, I think Tulok is 100% taking her to where Samal fell.
So I just as you cross the bridge out of town and you loop around and you're going to towards the Stone Ring Pond along the main road and then onto the Gaunt Trail, with your march perhaps one, if not all of you, will notice that down the cliff as you go, you can see Rin standing outside of her circle of stones, looking up at you as you walk by with a rather, I guess, terrified look on her face.
Are you gonna drop that on us right now?
Izori winks to Rin.
And Rin just will just get right back into her hovel. There is a tension, an unspoken tension, and understanding between her and Izori, it might seem.
Tulok turns, having seen this, to Izori and says, "Have you met Rin? She was a friend of Samal, I believe."
A good friend, if I am to understand my love perfectly. But I have not met her so much as we have touched the same stars, you could say. She has a good part of the reason why I made landfall when I did. I felt her. She reached out and spoke to me over the vast distance of the caravan.
Yes, she has powers beyond my knowledge. Perhaps when we come back, you should meet her. She's an astounding woman.
I'm sure we would have much to discuss if she could see past my... She just kind of trails off.
Just leave it dangling.
Yeah, Tulok kind of cocks an eyebrow, I think.
I love it.
So, because at this point, Tulok has no idea what the fuck Izori is all about. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
she's scared. I think she's kind of scary, and she's got a sword, and that's all he really knows.
yeah, she's a mature woman. She's dressed like a sailor. You know, she looks like a swashbuckler.
Air of confidence, right?
Oh yeah, like
Just an undeniable air of just not arrogance, confidence, right?
yeah. And if you look closely, like you can see that her doublet's been patched like quite a few times. Like, and it's not like, you know, like the elbows have been worn. It's like there's a puncture wound directly below her heart, like that kind of patch. But they're patched really well.
Yeah. It's like a high quality shirt or coat, but it's been patched expertly, but it shows every trophy injury possible.
Yeah. There's like slashes down her side and stuff. Like it's very clearly been a battle worn coat.
I love it.
So I see you took some levels in crafting. Or was it lore seamstress?
No. My first mate is he's quite skilled with a needle, but above and beyond that, you know, keep the economy running. Why not pay a seamstress if I can afford the pence to darn my jackets? There's no reason I need to take that time myself. So she's a captain of her own ship and has been for like 35 years at this point. So she is very familiar with the power of delegation, and I'm going to try and play into that.
As a small business owner, Tulok is impressed and continues.
Heck, as a small business owner, Freeman's impressed.
What does Tulok sell again?
Fortunes.
Lies.
Snake oil.
Fortunes.
It kind of lies, because
Izori's going to show you up in a way that I don't know if you're ready for.
considering genuine prophecy died with Aridin, so it's pretty much lies.
Yeah, because it's just BS that like the fortune teller background literally gives you fuck all.
Yeah.
Lore fortune telling.
Well,
Right.
at the very least, it gives you something you can earn an income on, but we've never really bothered to do that.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, lies. Though I like to think in my mind that he actually does know some shit. Rolling them bones.
Smoking them bones.
Crazy Bones. Remember Crazy Bones?
All right. Well, I brought you to if you happen to want to use this map, I brought you to the Gauntlet Ruins map here.
God, this map looks good. Shout out Narky.
Yeah, and we actually haven't really visited this map since it got redone again, and it's fucking beautiful. It's so good.
Also, we never figured out what was going on with that patch of blood.
No, you did not.
What patch of blood?
in the lighthouse.
The one in the lighthouse.
Oh, yeah. Probably not important.
I mean, we're high enough level that we can probably roll a check on it.
True.
Fortune-telling lore?
Okay.
Spirit
Automatic
lore.
critical fail every time.
Bookbinding lore. This was a paper cut.
The worst I've ever seen.
Okay, so as they enter the gauntlet, mists of the marsh around them, Tulok leads his two companions in and walks them through into the chapel. And just silently, as he goes and gets in there and turns his back, the walls with the skulls with moss in them and all that behind him. I believe pictures of graveyards and spirits on the wall. And he turns to Izori and says, "In this place of pure evil, home to immense prayer to a god that does not even recognize her subjects. This is where Samal fell, to savage creatures whose only driving force was to consume his body and use it for their own. I'm sorry that we could not defend him. I'm sorry that we could not keep him up. He died to save us. And this is where we took him from."
Izori like immediately gravitates to this single like stone where Samal fell. She kneels down and just gently brushes her fingers along the cold stone. And you just hear as she does so, the mewing, like maybe you can pin it down as the mewing of a cat. But when you say you couldn't protect him, she just erupts in this feverish laugh. No, Sage Tulok. He was old and out of practice. My Samal should have been able to protect himself. But it is a pity, and I mourn the loss of my love. But Zami, stop it. She like tugs on her sleeves a little bit.
Tulok cocks an eyebrow. Does he see a cat?
No, so behind her gloves are these like nebulous, like they're like empty cuffs and they're kind of nebulous. But her gloves work all the way up to it, so no, he does not see a cat.
Okay. He just leaves her to whatever she's doing.
Her insanity. Her possible insanity.
Yeah, she's definitely not 100% there in the way that most people are, but she's also seen some shit in every aspect of the word that could possibly be understood. So she straightens up, and I think after just seeing it, being here, feeling the last place where he drew breath, she's ready to move on.
So Tulok, giving her some time, sees that she's kind of prepared herself. He looks, understands what's going on, takes a deep breath himself because this was a rough time for him too, though he barely knew Samal at the time. Takes a deep breath, turns, and continues out of the room.
Kruk is pretty oblivious and is just looking around like it looks a lot bigger on the inside.
And even despite that, Tulok being probably maybe the most shook, by the revisit, being this is the first place everything really got down and got real serious, But Krukka and Izori can't help but notice, for all the moisture and moss and mold in this room, there is one patch that is a little more fresh and lively of moss and growth than before. Likely the spot in which Samal's blood was so exuberantly spilt. Is that the right word for that? It sounded right.
Exuberantly? No, that's good. Nobody was really celebrating at the time. But
Yeah, hey, let's spill some fucking blood, baby.
So terrifically spilt.
That's expressing joy because it can't be contained.
Oh, no.
talk about painting the town red.
What says filled with or characterized by a lively energy and excitement. That's not necessarily happy.
I don't know if that sounds like a corpse right there, so let's get the fuck out of here.
Also doesn't sound like the word you would use to explain somebody bleeding to death in a dark church.
You sick
Well, at
fuck.
least I could call myself out.
But anyways, Kruck is really impressed by that nice, vibrant death moss. Oh.
It's at least
No.
exuberantly growing.
Only some real suffering can make growth like that happen. That's a good one.
All right. Where to next?
Down.
Down. Heading through.
Can we just hand wave the introduction to Agro?
Up to you guys.
We skip past.
You skip past all the levels, giving a brief synopsis of what happened.
Yeah, it's just a long walk and talk scene from the West Wing, but it's them going through the entire plot point up until then.
Yeah, because we've had to do this for several characters so far. I think that, Tulok,
Tulok's got the welcome speech down pat.
yeah, he's got his elevator pitch on why you should join us in trying to defeat this evil.
We do things a little different around here.
We like to synergize our energies.
No, I don't expect you to go through every nook and cranny, that's for sure. All right, so heading back to the quote-unquote arena level where you have your most recent safe haven, which is near Shafrim's room and the teleportation circle thereof. You have a couple of directions to go from that area, so I've brought you around there.
And Shafram's ghosted at this point, yeah?
Yes, Shafrim is gone. Has been for a bit now.
What did he give you guys? I wasn't paying attention.
Guff, more than anything.
So he left behind some maps of this floor and the floor below, and what the rooms were effectively originally meant for, which could give you some insight on what to expect ahead. You don't know.
Not worth the paper he was made out of.
Also left behind an amazing scroll for Tulok, effectively, or Tulok can put to use for Compel True Name.
Oh, right, I forgot about that. That was great.
Call it bullshit. You're such a dick. You know what, Scott? If you were a witch, I would say your familiar is a dusty caterpillar, and it sits on your upper lip.
Well, the rank cologne of envy is strong on you, sir.
You're right. My stash game's weak. So weak. All right. Yeah. Tell me what you want to do from this area, this level. Give me your details here, peeps.
Well, basically, I think that Tulok is going to continue southwards, lead them down the stairs into the room where they killed the eyeless creature.
The Straken.
And then they're essentially stealthing into the workshop just to see, avoiding notice and avoiding Volok. Because they don't know if he's there. They don't know what the fuck is going on. Is he back in the machine? Hopefully.
Very cautiously heading towards the oh God, I can't. Per usual, I can't think of words.
Exuberant.
Workshop.
I was thinking more like the horrible battleground or some such description. But yeah, towards the laboratory.
The bloodbath arena.
Izori will avoid notice.
I'm avoiding notice.
So you come down the stairs into the room where you fought this Straken, the eyeless creature. You loop around towards those double doors that led to that long stretch that led to the laboratory. And as you come around to peek into that hallway where you last saw Volok and you last saw Lady Gilda. It is marred by the magic and destruction and battle that you remember. And there is the lifeless body of Lady Gilda simply lying there.
Tulok will enter the hallway, avoiding notice the whole time, and will draw the Staff of Necromancy and continue to Lady Gilda's body.
Okay.
If nothing has happened at that point, he takes a knee beside Lady Gilda, rests a hand on her shoulder, and says, "Gilda, our protector, our shield, and our fist. I'm so sorry to see you this way. And so sorry that you've gone down in combat and never get to return to your homelands, see your father, show him what you've done. He knows you earned those golden epaulets, but you had so much more to give." And he just casts Gentle Repose.
And with a gentle jangle of those epaulets and her armor, a little scrape of the shield as you pulse this magic through her body, the gaunt and even almost bluish hue to her skin goes back to resembling something a little more alive, something a little less distressing, as you almost pull away some of the natural decomposition happening into something more stable.
Okay. Let's get down to business. Who's rolling on the Wayfinder?
Oh, they're rolling for the
Sorry.
for the loot. Here we go. James is not laughing.
I'm good. I got a better one.
I know you
Perks
do.
of building
I
a
saw
level
that.
7 character.
Krucka, you and me?
Yep, let's do it, bud.
Bear in mind how many invested items you already have so far. Like you can only hold so many. So
I've got a 9. Middling as fuck.
less than even. Flat roll there.
Fuck you.
I mean, it is flat roll there, Dunk.
Yeah, I mean, technically, but go fuck
I
yourself.
also get a 9, but with a 1 in front of it.
Oh.
19.
You son of a bitch.
Suck it, burn.
What?
I don't know.
What
I
did
just
I
had to
do?
get one out there. It's been a while.
All right. Wayfinder goes to Krucka with the pearly white stone.
Freeman, can you please put in my inventory
Yes.
Corlock's contract,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
round key, 4-prong key, tarnish key, Volok's papers,
We throw these all in your backpack or your bag of holding?
bag of holding is fine.
Eat the loot, Duffy. Eat the loot.
Volok's papers and journal.
So that leaves the bracelets of dashing, which are a 1 action +1 to acrobatics and a 10-foot movement speed for 1 minute.
Yeah. How many items invested does Krucka have? Because you are welcome to that if you.
He currently has 2. Where's
2. You've got 6.
6?
You've got 6 out of 10. If you look under your equipment.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
right.
So you've got a ring of discretion, ring of the ram, crafter's eyepiece, wayfinder, also your hand wraps and your armor.
Krucka, you can take that because you're kind of moving in and out of combat more. If you want to go for those bracelets, you go ahead.
Yeah. All right. Well, hell yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of weird because like the cap, there's a cap there, and it turns into as you get higher and get more items, you actually have to pick and choose which ones you want to bring with you. So you want to save some sometimes, but generally you have to kind of eventually hit a point where you pick and choose what's going to suit you the best at the time.
Okay. Well, he will take them.
I took the healer's tools and the thieves' tools, and I kind of want the hunter's brooch again, but you guys tell me.
I mean, that's fine with Tulok. Though the hunter's brooch that's one of the 4.
That one comes with the caveat of it's supposed to be returned to Merriman Jimenez. So that's something you might want to relay to her.
Yeah, Tulok's sitting over Lady Gilda's body as they're kind of solemnly passing out these items. Says to Azori, if there's anything here that you need and think will help you to get your vengeance, please do not hesitate to ask. However, this one item, well, 2 of these items, the hunter's brooch and the cooperative blade, must go back to their original owners' families. So you may use them for now if you want. And the Golden Legion epaulets, earned by Lady Gilda, they go back to her father. And I am firm on that.
I have no interest in allying myself with the military of Andor, so the Golden Legion epaulets should stay with the young woman. The brooch I find intriguing. There is something that's drawing me to it. As is the shine on that scale. Interesting.
You are welcome to both.
I would say that, it would probably be pretty clear that Azori would be intimately familiar with the symbol of Erastil, being someone who sails the high seas. And I would argue, even without a check, that you've definitely seen a dragon turtle scale before.
Yeah, I was playing under that assumption as well, but she's not a greedy woman, but she wants her keep, and none of this is her keep, so he's kind of leaving this to Tulok.
Yeah, he gave you the go-ahead. Does Kruk have any interest in the hand wraps?
Kruk already has his own hand wraps.
Ooh.
So unless he goes full Goro, no.
I vote full Goro.
If the option was there, I would take it. I wish I hadn't have said that because I'm going to be thinking about it all day.
Or Skittermander if we're in this universe.
We just need to find a real good alchemist.
They release like an orc mutation ancestry feat. You get 2 extra hours.
The remaster's right around the corner. Everybody right into Paizo. Tell them we need Goros.
He's just a hairless Skittermander.
Yeah.
Okay.
What'd you call me?
It's a Starfinder creature. So I guess Tulok turns to them after they've finished defiling and ravaging the corpse. And okay, that sounded way worse than I thought it was going to. I was trying to think of a bad way to say stealing.
There's one for the blackmail folder. Defiling. Wait, no.
I will take the bottled air, and the cooperative blade can go into the bag of holding.
Sword swallower Duffy.
This one's large.
No, I like the cooperative blade, but it's essentially it. My rapier is more for my build. So.
More of a pirate thing, anyways.
Yeah, and it has and it does some things.
And it does some things.
Okay, and then the rest of this equipment can all be sold within town, but I'm just saying you can just sit there for now, right? While we carry Lady Gilda. Okay. So now that they've finished collecting all the items and casting gentle repose, Tulok turns to his companions and says, there's nothing more we can do here other than bring her out. But in the meantime, there's other things that we need to look at first. And he kind of has been looking over Lady Gilda's body down the hall to the item that Volok threw, because Tulok is fucking interested in whatever that weird thing is.
Ooh.
And he moves straight for it.
Oh, serpentine.
It really threw you for a loop in the middle of that battle in a really weird way. So you have a boo at this item. It is basically a handheld, but like pretty solidly sized, like Magic 8-Ball size, but like it's a polyhedron with 10 facets that are slightly varied in design and color. There is meticulous metalwork that form the seams, and they're all inscribed with runes lining each side of each facet. And there's actually, you didn't notice this in the middle of the combat, but there's a very convenient label tag that is affixed to one corner. Literally a sturdy string and like a paper tag. It's all kind of scuffed and everything. And it simply reads dimensional incarnate enclosure. And this...
Damn.
Yeah. And this is actually a wonderful item provided by one of our patrons, which is Takale. And they actually drew a picture.
Oh.
That's sick.
Oh, that's fucking cool looking.
I love the pun.
What's the pun?
It's a single die, two-sided die.
We worked hard on that. Dimensional incarnate enclosure. Die.
Love it.
Die.
Otherwise known as Volok's die. And it basically, within each of the facets, to a degree, you can see that there is a silhouette of some unknown creature. And some of the facets are actually more murky than others, and so the shape is really hard to make out. And the ones that are clearer, you can see show behind said silhouette are intricate cogs and gears and instrumentation that are held within the device. There is one facet, however, that is damaged beyond repair, which you can see in the artwork, and it shows nothing but an inky blackness inside. You can't even quite see the gears. And in addition to that, there are actually two of the facets that appear to be incomplete, with only half of the runes along those seams that are completed. Effectively, there's a certain amount of this item that will be revealed as you use it. However, there are some vague instructions along this label that will help you understand how it's used. You can basically spend 2 actions to roll the die, which is an interact action. And once per charge, you shake and roll the polyhedron and roll it up to 30 feet away. The effect from this thing is determined by the facet that faces upwards at the end of the roll. So you roll a d10 to see what happens. You can, however, also use a reaction, which is called Toy with Fate, which is an envision and fortune effect. And you can push the limits of chance at a cost, and the polyhedron tips just a little further to land on an adjacent facet instead of the original. You can only tip to the adjacent facet on the same hemi of the original side of the number. So if you have a D10 in front of you, you can kind of you can roll it one side to another, but not across sort of the hemi of the 2 hemispheres or hemi sides, as it were. This thing can only be charged in the sunlight via the glass that it's made from. So it basically filters sunlight into it to power it, and that gives it 1 charge. So every time you use it, you have to find a way to recharge it in the sunlight again. Not very convenient, but the potential of power, I won't understate it. It can be really, really useful.
Is there a sunlight spell we can use?
So Volok had never used it before.
There are sunlight spells. I don't know if you have any.
Okruka has tons.
I bet he does.
That makes sense. I was just trying to sass Freeman because I was like, oh, so Volok only ever used it once because that motherfucker hasn't been up there.
That you know of.
I know.
Volok has looped behind you at some point, because how else would he have gotten down to this level if it weren't for you destroying the barrier? Or maybe he did anyway.
That son of a bitch. Or he might have gone through.
You don't know. You don't know. Food for thought, though. So it has to filter sunlight through for a minimum of 1 hour before it can be used again. The downside to the Toy with Fate is that it changes the fortune effect of this item to a misfortune effect, which means the next time it rolls, it will toy with fate itself to balance the opposite way to something worse. Now, something worse might not be what you think. It may be what you think. You're not really sure. You actually kind of have to use this item to figure out what it will do. However, what I will tell you is what is clear and what is murky right now, and what you kind of see within it, if you're ready. I'm also, by the way, I'm going to can make this easier for you if you want to follow along, and I'm going to throw this into Tulok's inventory so that you can actually see what I'm reading from. On one side, the broken side, it looks like it was once covered with a beautiful red glass. And you see nothing but that smashed glass and inky blackness within. On another side, it's green and it's quite clear. And you see a crab-like arachnid. On another side, it is pink and clear, and there is some sort of amorphous blob. On the orange side, there is nothing except for, as you look a little bit longer, the occasional glimpse of a skull-like shape. There is a black side in which you can see an eerily still tornado with thin arms and clawed hands, which very, very starkly reminds you of exactly the creature that popped out when Volok used it. And then finally, on a blue side, there is a swirling vortex of tendrils ending in 7-fingered needled hands.
And then what's on the other three?
The other four actually are more. What am I at here? There is a purple side that's murky. You can't quite make out what's there. There's a gray side that's murky, a yellow, and a white. But you can't quite make out what's in them.
Interesting.
This thing's scary.
I am here for every bit of
Oh
it.
yeah, I love it. I'm just scared.
Tulok is looking at it very closely and eyeing up each side, and he just holds it in front of him and says, "Zori, have you ever seen anything like this in your travels?"
What check would you like, Game Master?
Best you could do is occult, or I think occult's the main one.
I mean, you kind of did you not give us everything, or I was just more RPing?
Me too. I don't know if Zori's ever seen it.
I want to roll to know if I've ever.
Sure,
heard
okay.
it then.
Yeah.
So instead of me making that call, I figured I'd let Freeman make that decision for me.
So Izori rolled 20. Never seen anything like it. Tulok, 26. You're a master in occultism. You've also never seen anything like this. This is an extremely unique item. However, something stands out to you, and it is the incarnate side of these things. That means something to not just you, but to certain spellcasters of a certain knowledge. Incarnate is a trait in mechanical terms applied to very certain spells. And while you don't understand this item and how it functions, you do understand that incarnate spells basically summon in incarnates of creatures, not a proper summon or conjuration spell, so much as like this weird facsimile that brings out a benefit to the caster with little to no control over the incarnate, but it will effectively do something when it arrives and then do something when it departs.
Weird.
But I'm not going to give you more until you put it to use.
No minion trait, it sounds like. Okay. So Tulok, gripping it, just kind of says, "I think I'll hold on to this. I'd like to learn more of its power," and slides it into his underneath his cloak.
Slides into his jockstrap.
Into his cod piece, and then he heads south.
Ooh, that broken part's sharp. Ooh. Just for the record, Takale was like, I wonder what James is going to think. I was like, I bet you he's going to think it's awesome. And then James is like, I'm here for this.
Yeah, I mean, so I think we talked about it briefly last episode where I revealed that she's a witch.
Mhm.
But her patron is fate, so that means her witch cantrip is nudge fate, which essentially means once in a 1 minute span I can add +1 to kind of whatever the fuck I want. Meaning I could theoretically use it on Tulok in assistance with this to theoretically give it a fortune effect.
Oh shit! I didn't even think of that. I'll have to look into that. Damn.
Yeah,
That's cool.
I also have to look into it. I'm
Yeah.
still very new at being a witchy woman.
Yeah.
But, it's a neat little hex
Mhm.
cantrip as my patron being fate.
Yeah. Cool. Very cool. All right.
Heading into the room. Oh, also sorry, James, that Tulok didn't offer it to Izori, but that's not happening.
Yeah, honestly, you just met this woman, and this is an object of immense power that contributed to the death of your ally. I'm not surprised you didn't offer it to this complete stranger who just claims to have known somebody that you knew, kind of ish.
Exactly.
Amazing.
To be like if Cam's partner showed up and you were like, "Here's $1 million."
Speaking of Cam, for the record, Cam helped me balance this item and worked with me while I worked with Takale. So
Shout out to Kale, shout out Cam.
I'm pretty dubious the word balance in that sentence.
given their penchant for character deaths, that's French listeners. That's twice this episode. Nailed it.
Nailed it is doing a lot of heavy lifting there.
For the audio listeners, we're all shaking our head at Freeman. Okay.
Fists too.
Tulok comes into the room and is going to investigate the machine. Not Bert Kreischer.
It's gonna bypass. And Volek comes jumping out again. You're all dead. Obviously not, but yeah, you head up to the machine. The machine is a really, really strange like contraption. Something you've like the likes of which you've never seen. Very steampunky, I would say, is how I imagine it in my head. It seems to no longer be running. There's lots of tubes, lots of copper, steam still jutting out every once in a while. It's like got this sort of like horizontal cylinder. I think almost like an iron lung. That's how I imagine it, with like this porthole in it that would normally hold like whatever person or thing or creature you are flesh warping within.
Bubble Boy.
Yeah.
One hell of a coffee maker.
Has anyone ever played Deponia, the point and click game? No? Okay.
Nope.
No, so talk about it at length. This will make great.
There's this ridiculous machine that's like basically a giant, like, obscure looking pipe organ that turns out to be an espresso maker. Anyway, any listeners are familiar with that, they'll get that. It's a good one. But yeah, it's something very alien, for lack of a better word. You can tell right away that this is operating it is beyond your comprehension. But Tulok, you know, I've just rolled a cult for you, and you know that this is it's related to flesh warping. It is occult machinery. It uses necromantic energies. It even has ambient energy that could be affecting the place around it. And you even suspect that ambient energy could be going not just around this room, not just on this level. It could be expanding out towards other levels, affecting things. Probably not for the better.
Does it look like something that I could destroy?
Yes, I think you can work your way around dismantling it. Not like in its entirety per se, but like you can disconnect certain parts of the machinery to sort of just disrupt its. So you have to understand that flesh warping is a combination of alchemical sciences and magic, and some of it has to remain intact, in a consistent manner and be maintained probably by someone who can maintain both those balance between those two things. So you can disrupt that, and without someone here to keep it running and keep it restored, you can disrupt it permanently. You rolled really high, by the way.
Yeah.
So I have two questions.
Nice.
The first is, what color is the energy?
James has synesthesia, listeners.
Whatever color necromantic is. I always picture necromantic as purple.
Yeah, that's fair.
Purple
I
or
just
green.
wanted to make sure it wasn't blue, because there was a part of me that thought maybe this was what was powering the gauntlet.
Oh,
but if it's,
yeah.
If you don't know that offhand, it's definitely not that. So we're good.
Yeah.
My second question is, between Tulok and I and our knowledge of like arcane practices and Kruka's crafting, could we not pretty easily dismantle this whole thing? Like,
Do you mean maintain it?
yeah, or try and use it.
No, I think he said we could destroy this thing. Oh shit!
I think you
'Cause
lack.
Tulok's a master in occults.
Yes, but you lack the alchemical proficiency.
Kruka's a master in crafting.
So crafting is one thing, but alchemical crafting is its own feat as well. If Physic were around, I would
Okay.
probably argue for yes. But
Okay.
Kruka's just looking at it like, well, the scrap value of copper these days, we could probably get a pretty penny.
yeah. Also tossing in there, given I know Azori wouldn't know this offhand right yet, but the information you did find in the folio in the super secret library did detail Gauntlet in its power as like a legendary level 20 like artifact. So its power is standalone. It does not it would never rely on something like this to be powered.
Right. I don't
Yeah.
mean like rely so much as like a focus. Like this could just be like a Fresnel lens inside of a telescope for all I know. So
Big words. So Tulok is gonna look around, look at his companions. He says, Kruka, perhaps you can find if there's any secret rooms in here, or anything else that doesn't meet our eye.
Yeah, Kruka was planning on doing a thorough search, but apparently he's just got to be told what to do.
Oh shit, I'm sorry.
Well, scoot the backseat driver.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. Meanwhile, Tulok just goes and destroys this fucking thing. But I'll just go fuck myself.
Oh, no, that's... Yeah. Yeah, well, you know what they say. They say, suck it, burn. Do a thorough search for Kruka.
Yeah, you know what? Let's turn this. Suck it, Barn.
Okay.
This is called worker solidarity.
There's a +1 composite longbow again from a Drider. And it is going to be large size, if memory holds correctly. There is a glaive and some arrows. On Jaffaki, there is a +1 striking rapier. There's a wand of magic missile level 2. Just going to trying to run through the things that you know right away offhand. There's actually a copy of each of the round and 4-prong keys that you already found to that room.
So that round key is even less unusual than they said before.
Yeah. There's a couple infused ones here that will no longer have lasted because Jaffa Key was effectively an alchemist. And there is an additional wand, an alchemist lab, expanded alchemist lab. And there are 2 flasks, one filled with a green liquid and one filled with blue, a volatile-looking blue liquid.
Those alchemical or magical?
They are alchemical.
Kruka's gonna take a little eyepiece out and squint heavily.
Okay. You going for...
34 for the first one.
Okay, green. Yeah. This is a moderate acid flask. Oh, shoot. These are infused, too. Never mind. They're all moot. You don't get any of that.
Alchemist items, yeah.
Sorry to waste everyone's time. There's more, though. There's more.
It just fizzles into smoke in his hands. Oh, no.
Oh, now that I look at this other wand, too, Tulok, if you bring it to Tulok's attention, Tulok will know what it is. It is, in fact, a wand of gentle repose, level 2.
Oh.
And on one of the desks in the room, there is a... Let's see here. There's another crafter's eyepiece, which Kruka already has. There's an expanded healer's kit, another alchemist lab, a superb repair kit. Again, throwing us in the Tulok's inventory, though might want that for...
I'll take the eyepiece, actually.
Yeah, okay.
Kreka would take the healer's kit.
Yeah, also, you're not throwing any of that into my bag of holding.
You just calm right down. Okay, eyepiece for Izori.
So I can't make like crafter's binoculars or like a set of crafter's glasses.
No, I don't think so.
No, didn't think so.
Yeah, you want to one on each eye and get a +2. Yeah,
Just not be able to focus out of either.
Fortunately, in 2E, bonuses of the same type don't stack.
there's always that issue. You see expanded healer's tools to Kreka.
Yes, please.
Superb repair kit, perhaps.
I do like that superb. Yeah, that's not bad.
Finally, there is a liquid here to be identified, and it is a sort of plain brown liquid.
That's crafting as well.
Alchemical.
Tulok hands it to Duffy to give it a little lick.
I feel like it's unfair if we don't use Duncan's 34 on this.
I'm pretty proud of that thing.
Well. Going to bat for the old dunk dog, are ya?
Same team, brah. Same team.
That's solidarity, bro.
Given this is a higher level item, actually no, forget it. We can roll it over. That's fine. Let's see if it works. 34. Yeah, it's fine. This is a moderate anti-plague, which basically it's a level 6 alchemical item. So
Europe could have used that a couple hundred years ago.
Oh, too soon.
Didn't we just finish COVID?
Fuck it.
You had to reach back 600 years?
Putting the boo in bubonic.
That one's called the plague.
Right, that's fair.
+3 item bonus to fortitude saves against diseases for 24 hours when you take this. So could be pretty useful. Maybe, depending what you encounter. Surely. Oh, and by the way, there is 2 of those.
Okay, so 2 of the 3 of us may survive a plague.
That's wicked ominous, so maybe we should find a third one.
Or maybe if there's a gang of diseased rats, somebody sit that one out.
And amongst this room, there's all this alchemical equipment and potions and elixirs and bombs and all this stuff. Some of them now defunct because of the infused trait they had, very sadly. You find all kinds of paperwork, tons of paperwork, formulas and notes on flesh warping, and it might take some time to sift through if you like. But yeah, there's loads of information here on all of that stuff.
Both of you know I cannot read a word.
It's the second time you've made this joke on this show.
Yeah, but the first time was as physic. Called a through line.
Just feed it to the backpack.
Again, Duffy can't read it for you. It can only give you a cursory knowledge of what it might entail, giving you a bonus.
Right, but he can tell us what we need to waste our time on.
Or we could drop off a big ol' stack of papers to Agriel and say, get reading, bud. Did Kreka find anything in the walls?
Yeah, could do. Kreka did not.
Well, I guess he'll just cry into some stacks of paper then.
Did Izori find anything else of value?
No. Let me just double check notes here again real quick just in case. No. You have found everything of value that you can tell. I know you've got notes in here somewhere in one of your inventory. Yeah, the Sugarathi research notes that you looked through gives you a +2 item bonus to research checks. I would say with some time you could combine the notes here with that and get yourself a +3.
This is why collaborating with information is important.
Too true. Tulok, as they are doing these searches, will be destroying the machine.
Raging against it, one would say.
Well, it's funny you say that because, one, they canceled the concert, which I had tickets to for 3 years because Zach De La Roca tore his Achilles tendon. And also because Tulok is sad, he's breaking it down slowly and meaningfully.
Well, Krucka flies into a rage and rages against that.
Roll me an occultism check.
I would like to aid.
Okay.
18.
This would be a good time to bring up something that we've talked about off air before, and some chatter about how aid works and what the DC is supposed to be, rules is written, rules is intended, and stuff like that. And I think we should go moving forward with something that someone had suggested, a very, very helpful Redditor and content creator, the rules lawyer, Ronald. I don't know his last name, but he had suggested something along the lines of an aid check should be the DC -5. That way you are still incentivized to help, but you don't have this flat DC that is really hard at lower levels and impossibly easy at higher levels. So I think I'd be happy to roll that direction. So that being said, with the DC I have here, what did you get for your aid?
18. So that's actually the reason I always just announce my aids instead of never saying I aid, except on a heal check, because I know what the aid DC is on that. Because everything else I know you're going to scale behind the scenes, so that's why I just said 18 instead of I
fair
aid.
Fair enough. Yeah. So I guess for the listeners, I'm now throwing out there what we're going to do, unless a really good argument comes against it, or a better option comes along. That's what we'll be rolling with going forward. With an 18 at that idea, that is an aid.
And I aid myself by rolling a 33.
Oh, damn.
Self-love is important.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. You just lock your mind into dismantling this very methodically, and you nail it. You just, for every part you pull and unfasten, you know exactly which one to do next. It feels very intuitive. And you're just sort of like, I always say, even too, like you start to glow with your own like magic, at that purpley glow that you always love to describe. Just sort of like starts to envelop you a little bit as you just like hone in on your instincts on like what this otherworldly abomination of a machine is, and you just pull it apart like you built it yourself.
When Tulok is finished, he turns to his companions and says, "Well, if there's nothing else, let's bring Lady Gilda back into the sunlight." And upon her way home, and would like to leave the room.
Yeah, Krucka would just grab her and throw her body over his shoulder, kind of as gently as he can.
Little fireman's carry.
Yeah. Izori's strength is 0, so she'll be about as helpful as she was tearing down this machine, just hitting her boot flask, telling you how to do it.
Yeah, I think Krucka would be fine. Let's get a +4 bonus.
Yeah, I see no reason why Krucka couldn't, with a bit of effort and time.
I mean, he's got an axe. He can chop her into pieces.
Yeah, there is that.
Oh no, please don't. Oh, please don't do this. Not again. Not again.
Eat the Gilda, Duffy.
No.
She's so beautiful.
That makes it so much worse.
So you make your way back upstairs and to the nearest teleportation circle, I assume, and make your way back to town. As you do, you enter the Gauntlet ruins with, that pervasive fog, and as you come out of the fog, there is this sort of like light shining down on you that almost brightens you up for some reason. Like you feel like a task has been done. It's not the happiest of tasks, but at least something is on the cusp of being complete again. You lost so much and it was so brutal, but now you are marching forward and toward the next step. Where do you take Gilda's body?
Probably to Aloria.
Oh, straight to the courier?
I mean, I was going to say Dawnflower first, then Courier, but that's...
Yeah, Dawnflower would make sense, I think, and prepare her there and maybe send off the epaulets.
On your way into town, if you take the front entrance, you pass by, at the very least, by Galentine Deliveries. In which case, Aloria would say that she would make the preparations, giving her condolences. But yeah, would need a couple of days to organize it. So would suggest leaving Gilda at the Dawnflower, where Vandy can maintain the gentle repose. In the meantime, however, you can send off the epaulets and a letter, perhaps, right away, if you like. Or you can send them together with the body.
I mean, I think that Tulok would like to send the package as a whole.
As it were. Yeah. All right, so dropping Lady Gilda off at the Dawnflower Library, Vandy is as solemn as ever with the arrival of another deceased hero.
I have no doubt in my mind that she has perished bravely. If not, I suspect you would not be alive, would you, Master Tulok? Would you, Krucka?
That's correct, Vandy. And Tulok is just kind of nodding.
This sort of thing happens more than we like to think. It seldom feels like it's on our doorstep. Though I imagine this one is a little more important than most.
Yeah, fuck Physic.
You sounded awful.
But I didn't mean that.
Sorry to kill your moment there. I just had to make a dig.
trying to give a nice goodbye.
Tulok does turn to Vandy and says, "We've lost so much. It's hard to imagine losing more. But I know that with Lady Gilda here, we lost less than we would have. Starting from that first wave, the night of the full moon, and every horror you could barely even imagine that we've seen in the Abomination Vaults. She has saved us every step of the way. This isn't the first time that she considered giving her life. But this time she did. And I know it was to save us.
Like in all deaths like this, it's easy to have your mind wander towards the lives she could have continued to save, having died so young. But the truth is, we must make the most of the lives she did save. And then she will have died with honor. Dying for a country, a town, and a people that weren't hers. But with the vigilance as if they were. We will honor that as Otarans.
Yes. And perhaps now, as she was known to do, I will get a bottle of whiskey, and we shall share it as friends, and laugh in her memory, and try to shed no more tears, because that's what she would have wanted.
That's what we're going to call it. Stemming the Tide is an actual play podcast of the Adventure Path Abomination Vaults and is produced by the Uncharted North Network. Stemming the Tide uses trademarks and/or copyrights owned by Paizo Inc., used under Paizo's community use policy. We are expressly prohibited from charging you to use or access this content. Stemming the Tide is not published, endorsed, or specifically approved by Paizo. For more information about Paizo Inc. and Paizo products, visit paizo.com. Music is composed by Will Savino and artwork by Greyhood. Stemming the Tide is recorded remotely using Foundry Virtual Tabletop. If you wish to connect with us or support this project and projects to come, we can be found at unchartednorth.ca, patreon.com/unchartednorth, and on all major social media platforms. Links to all credits can be found in the episode description and our website. Thanks for tuning in.